Malka, hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm delighted to see you. You're absolutely fabulous. I believe you're in Devon.
I am actually. So I was in London and I was with my boyfriend, and we decided we wanted to get out of the city, go somewhere where we could be surrounded by some nature. So his parents have a house here, and we've been staying here for about a week now. It's really nice because we can just walk outside and go on a hike. We don't have to drive anywhere. And yeah, it's really nice to just kind of be surrounded by that instead of being in the midst of such a big city.
How are you finding this interesting time? You're so young, and this must be quite unique to you. I mean, we've heard about it in history,
Yeah,
but
I
this
know.
kind of situation.
It's kind of strange. I feel like I'm in some kind of movie. Like it doesn't even feel real. Um, and when it first kind of started happening and rolling, I was kind of in denial. I was like, no, we're not going to go in quarantine. Like that's never happened. But obviously now we're in it. Um, so there's kind of a big mix of emotions. Obviously, I'm kind of a bit anxious about everything being on hold and nothing happening. But at the same time, I'm kind of trying to take advantage of it. And I've actually kind of been enjoying the experience quite a bit. Just being able to pause from the outside world and just be with myself and do things that I never had time for before. Like I don't have an excuse. I do have time now. So I've been relearning the guitar. I've been writing. I've been just meditating and doing yoga and just kind of using this time as a positive opportunity. So I've kind of been enjoying it.
It's quite interesting for such a young woman as yourself to talk about not having time, but having known you since you were a little girl at school,
Mm-hmm.
always had so much to do and so many places to be, and obviously it's been quite stressful for you. You've come a long way. Tell us a little bit about how it's been since you were introducing Kids Got Talent on Marbella now 5 years ago to
Oh
now
my
being Women's
gosh.
Got Talent and part of a music group.
Oh my gosh. I was actually talking about this with my boyfriend yesterday. It was like, I feel like I'm so old because I've been doing things for so long. Like, I started kind of getting into music and the arts when I was about 5 years old. And since then, I've just been constantly working and doing shows and performances. And I think I was about maybe 13 or 14 when I did that show with you, or 15. So I basically did a show with Nicole on Marbella now called Marbella Kids Got Talent. And it was kind of my idea, my concept, and I pitched it to her, and we sort of took it as a business project together, and we brought in talented kids all around Marbella and interviewed them and had them do a performance, and it was a really fun project. um, but yeah, I've been working really hard since then, and I've done lots of things. Performed all over Moscow in America. I was in LA working for a few months. I was the opening act for Michael Bolton's concert a couple of years ago, and now I'm living in London, working with Calico, which is the new girl band that I'm in, and I've been doing that project for about a year. So yeah, it's constantly nonstop, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I love to be working hard.
Who would have thought a couple of weeks ago when we interviewed you and the girls at the Guadalpine Banús Hotel by the beach that suddenly 3 weeks later we'd all be shut down in quarantine? How are you girls keeping in contact? I suppose technology is just the way you always do it anyway.
Yeah, technology is the key. So we've been actually meeting every other day on Zoom. So we have a little 30-minute conference, and sometimes we'll kind of rehearse. It's a little bit difficult, obviously, with all the different internets, but we'll just stay in contact and, keep in touch with each other. I think it's really important.
Are you composing? Are you practicing online?
We are, yeah. So we're taking this time to really focus on songwriting. So we're all writing our own bits and then sort of showing them and kind of working on it together. So yeah, we're focusing a lot on finishing the album, and so that when we get out of this quarantine, we can go straight into the studio and finish everything off.
When you were growing up here in Marbella, obviously it was challenging, and you even chose to go to school in Sotogrande because they were better for your talents. Do you have advice for other kids here in Marbella of how to deal with growing up here? Because it doesn't come without its particular difficulties, I think.
Yeah, I think well, Soto Grande for me was an amazing school because it's very centered around the arts. But I think living in Marbella, everybody kind of knows everybody. So it's very easy to kind of make connections, but you can only get so far. So what I would suggest for anyone that's kind of interested in getting into the arts, I signed with an acting agency in Madrid, and that was an easy process. I just went to Madrid, met with the agency, did an audition, and then they got me lots of different gigs and jobs. So I wouldn't say that if you're in Marbella, you necessarily have to stay in that bubble. I was branching out constantly with contacts in Madrid, Soto Grande. So don't feel sort of closed up in your little space. Definitely open out, spread out. Social media is huge. You know, post your stuff online, send it to other people around the globe. Just be proactive and you'll definitely get further.
When I'm hearing you and looking at you, you are so reminiscent of your mummy, who was on the program, coincidentally, by now 255, also
Yeah.
coach. She's been so supportive of your career. How are you finding it without your brother and sister and your family?
Honestly, I miss my mum so much. Like, I'm not the type of person that gets homesick at all. I never have, but my mum and I have such a close relationship. Whenever I need anything, I'm like, Mum, I need your advice. Like, Mum, I need you to help me. So we've always just kind of had that relationship, and it's difficult for me not knowing when I'm next going to see her, when the borders are going to open up, but we talk pretty much every day. My brother and sister as well, I'm really close to them. So yeah, family is so important, and I'm very, very grateful for mine.
Before we finish, Veronica, give us a quick rundown of Calico, the music you've launched, how people can follow you on Facebook, Instagram, and whatever else you youngsters are up to.
So Calico is actually spelled Calyco. It's a combination of all of our names, the members. So Calico Music is our handle for Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, at Calico Music. And we've actually just released our first single, which is called Flow, Flo. And you can find that on YouTube as well as every other streaming platform, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon. And yeah, we're working on finishing our album now. As soon as we get out of this quarantine, we're going to be releasing a couple new songs, some new videos, and yeah, definitely follow us on our social media so you can stay up to date with everything.
Well, we certainly will. It's lovely to watch you. It's lovely to see you growing up and fulfilling your dreams, because really,
thank you.
Well, the epitome, if you really want something and you go for it, it will happen.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Nicole.
So lovely to see you. Keep safe, stay home, and love to everybody there. I'll give your mum a virtual hug when I see her next.
Please do. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye, sweetheart.
Hey, hey.
A lot of people prefer to take their own car when going out at night. However, when it comes to time to go home, that might not be the safest or wisest option. For some, just one glass of wine could put you over the legal limit, which means if you drive, you could put in yourself or others at risk. If you find yourself in this dilemma and think possibly you should not be driving, you can just give Linea Directa a call. They will order and pay for a taxi, which will take you and your fellow companions who were with you in the car home with up to a 25-kilometer radius, as long as you all fit in that one taxi and you're all going to the same place. You can even ask for them to pick up your car and take that back too. And this is 7 days a week from midnight to 7 a.m. and up to 4 times a month. And this is obviously all in addition to the fabulous insurance that you get with Linea Directa.
Every evening at 8 p.m, I'm going out to my balcony, as is most of Spain, to clap and make as much noise as possible to show our gratitude for all the medical staff who are literally risking their lives to save ours. And it's not just the medical staff, of course, everyone who's out there, the police, the truck drivers, we're all in this together. So please join us at 8 p.m. every single evening at an open window, on your terrace, in your private garden, wherever you're allowed to be, but outside, and make as much noise as possible. I think you'll quite enjoy that. If you're the only one clapping, very soon others will follow suit. Let's pray that this will be over soon. Stay safe, stay home.
Tearing us apart. Poison arrows shoot straight to your heart.
It's a great honour to welcome to the programme a gentleman whose name is Hesham Attallah. I've never met him in person, but I have met him online. And that's what this new situation is doing to us. It's opening opportunities that we probably never even thought of until now. So with no further ado, may I introduce Hesham. Hello, Hesham.
Hi, Nicole. How are you?
I'm actually doing very well. It's busy with the television and keeping everybody informed and trying to keep legitimate information out there, because as you are well aware, we as human beings tend to panic and rules our lives more than it really should. And that's why I'm so interested, Hesham, to chat with you, because I met you through a group of heartfulness and you are love. So please, can you just explain to our viewers a little bit about what you do?
So basically, maybe it's a good idea to give a little bit of a background about myself to understand where I am today and why I came here. Basically, I started my life as a medical doctor, and I worked in a hospital, and I got disenchanted with the medical industry or the hospital culture, because we treat patients like a mechanic treats a car. Without really giving a lot of attention to the emotional side of being sick. And I thought maybe I can have a better impact in medical research. And I tried working with, in the early 90s, with anti-cancer drugs, trying to discover new natural anti-cancer drugs. The same way I found in medicine, I was also disenchanted with the medical research mentality. It's still egoistical, and still very much aimed at trying to boost our standing as people instead of focusing on the science and how we can help others. Then I gave all of this up and I moved into corporate life, and I had a very good job in a big corporation, and I grew up on the ladder, and I felt when I reached the top that I'm again faced with the same mentality, the egoistical drive to create more money without actually adding value to the lives of others. And I thought I need to give myself time off of all this, because it was not feeding my heart. I didn't feel that I'm actually contributing positively to the lives of others. So last year I gave myself a 1 year sabbatical, and I just took the time to reflect on my life and to see where I would like to work to actually impact other people's lives. And I discovered this heartfulness, which means that when we deal with each other, or even with ourselves, or with the world, we have to listen to the voice of our heart. What does it tell us? There is a voice in our head which is propagating fear, propagating separation, propagating egoistical drives. And there is a voice in our heart which is saying the opposite. It says there is no fear. We have to trust the life we are living. We have to trust that everything is going well. We have to trust each other. And we have to work together to create something better. Not just this is for me, but how can I be of service to others? How can I nourish them? Because this is our function in life.
It's curious, I'm listening to you and you're talking about doing a job initially that is to help others in the medical industry, and then you're in the corporate industry, which in theory are opposed, but you're saying the similarities of the superficiality were so obvious that after going through all that you come back again to really, I suppose, like when we're children, that we just want to be happy and feel good. And really it's something that we've lost. And this is a very ironic, it's kind of sad that we've come to, again, always a crisis to be able to reevaluate our lives. How do we start again?
I think you actually nailed it on the head when you said when we were children, we have that heart full. We are acting from our heart. We are not conditioned with ideas about people and about reality. We are who we are, and we accept ourselves, we accept others. So to go back to being children with the experience we have, we need to get rid of the conditioning and the ideas we have of others. People don't realize that what is in their head, what they keep repeating to themselves, is not their own voices. They are voices picked up along their history of living with others. The society is giving us ideas all the time. And the fear which we have seen palpable during this time is coming from outside of us. If you look at yourself, you are healthy, you are happy, you are maybe confined a little bit in your home, but there is no immediate danger to make you fearful. However, a lot of people I talk to are experiencing this fear because they internalize a voice that is not theirs. So to start, you need to recognize the voices in your head. Are they really yours? Are they coming from your heart? Or are they coming from your mental chatter and what you hear from outside?
Again, it brings me back to childhood. I think that we are told as children not to trust our gut instincts and to do as we're told and follow the system. So when we come to being adults, we don't even know how to tune into our inner being. Again, how do we start?
It's a good question. I mean, I think it's again, the society is built to have a system that's easy to manage. And to be easy to manage, you need to have a sort of expectation of how people's behavior would be. And today, if you want to go to being a child, you need to listen to your own voice, which will be uniquely yours. It will be different from everyone else. The society is not geared to deal with our individuality. So to be able to start, we need, first of all, to listen to our own voice. So meditation is very important. Understanding the principle of what the difference between the mind is and the heart voice is very important. And then you start recognizing the voices that speak to you. Are they actually coming from the heart or the mind? And the difference is very, very clear. The mind will always work on fear, will work on worries, concerns, greed, egoistical drive, always. The heart will be the opposite. It will work with trust, innocence, connection, support, service of others. This is going like left and this is going right. If you listen to everything you say to yourself and ask yourself, where is this coming from? Is it adding to the happiness of the world? Or is it just adding to my egoistical feel that I want to feel superior to others, better than others, and put others down? Where it's coming from? I think it takes a lot of practice because in our age, we have been conditioned for so many years. Some people like myself, 45, 50 years of conditioning. It's a long time. So you need to make steps. Maybe you talk to someone like me who have already sort of taken that leap of stopping down and listening to his heart full time. And I think even if you are in business or if you are in whatever industry you are in, you can still shift your attention to be more heartful and bring more value and connection to the business you are doing or to your work.
To take the step that you did, Hesham, to leave an important position in the corporate world, it didn't happen overnight. Can you share with us, to help others who, because the hardest thing is recognizing that we have a problem. To help others maybe identify that issue, can you tell us a few of those drops that then took you to the point of the glass overflowing and you then taking that final step? What was that final step as well?
So I think everyone recognizes when they hit a time when you feel that you're not satisfied with what you are doing. Okay, that it's even if you are making money or if you look from outside, you look happy and you look successful, but there is something missing inside you. You feel that there is something, and sometimes you don't even know what it is. You cannot put your finger on it, and that's when you need to recognize that this, what is missing, is your own purpose. If you are living your purpose today, if you are living a unique life, you would know it. Because your truth and what is true for you will be different from everyone else. And that's when you would know, am I living my authentic self? Am I doing the work which I came here to do or not? Most of us, because we are living a material life, believe that we are here just as a function of biology, coming to breathe and talk and die, then the end of it. We don't believe there is actually a purpose behind our existence. And if you're lacking this purpose, I think that's when you need to start. And it's up to you, really. I don't believe that there is only one valid way of leading life. There is a life which is purposeful, and there is a life which is just productive in a material way. And if you are happy with your productivity and materialism, I don't judge you. I cannot judge any person. But I believe that there could be a chance for everyone today, especially your audience, Nicole. You have people who I think most of them are well off. In the Maslow hierarchy of needs, the lowest one is survival. Okay, these are the people who are not able to find food and they have to fight for it. The highest one is living for your purpose. We have a lot of the population in this area who are very well off and still thinking about the material stuff. So when are we going to evolve to looking for our own purpose? When you feel that you can feed yourself for a while, you don't need to run for your bread every day. I think it's a good time to stop. Am I doing what I'm here to do or not?
I think a big part of what you said is our tendency to judge others, and yet this pandemic seems to have reduced us all to an equal level, whether you're the Prince of England or you're a worker in the supermarket and someone in the hospital. We're all equally as vulnerable. Why do you think we tend to judge others? Is it to avoid looking at ourselves?
I think judgment is again a function of the mind. It's definitely, we always try to have a reference point where we can look at this reference point and say, am I better or worse than this reference point? And to feel better, my ego wants me to feel better. I want to say, I'm actually wanting to put this person down so I am better than him. That's a judgment, basically. It's a decision to look at life from our mind point of view. If you open your heart, you would look like everyone is unique. There is no reference point which you can judge everyone against because it doesn't exist. So with that said, you wanted to find your own reference inside of you, regardless of what anyone else is doing. Today, when we look at careers, for example, people would look at your career like, what is your title? Are you vice president? Are you CEO, CFO? Are you like Bill Gates? There is this reference of where you are on a scale of the career level, okay? And you will find this everywhere, okay? Even between people who might talk about the heart. Do I have more friends? Did I get more likes on my posts on Facebook or Instagram? Do I have more followers? It's always about me as egoistical drive of that person, not about where is my function on the totality of the global existence of humanity, and am I doing this or not? So we are living in a way which is undifferentiated, in my opinion. We are all living a world which we feel we are better or worse. That's a judgment. But in the end, we are all in undifferentiated state. And when you go outside this undifferentiated state, you don't have judgment anymore, because you see, how can you judge? It's impossible.
To finish off, Hesham, it's been a year since you took that leap of faith. Has it been worth it? Do you feel the difference?
A lot. It's more worth it than I could have imagined. The result of this one leap of faith has been unbelievable. And the trust which I have now for the world and for life, which I didn't have a year ago. I was like everyone else, a rational person who always cautioned taking calculated risks. Today I can live and say, I don't really fear tomorrow. I know I'm here right now, and I know that everything will be taken care of. And with this attitude, I start to meet people who are just beautiful and open in their heart. And the connection has been fantastic. So yes, it's great. And I know it's hard for people to take that leap of faith, but I believe also we can support each other in taking that step.
I believe you are so right. I thank you so much, and I'm very happy to have you in my world.
Thank you very much, Nicole.
Thank you again, and I appreciate your heartfulness with our audience. Thank you so much, Hesham.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Have a great day.
Keep safe, stay home.
Thanks, bye.